Hello, folks. This is Joe from MIGeekScene. I'm at Youmacon 2016 with a special guest.
I'm a special guest.
This is Ian Sinclair,
Yeah.
known from many shows. You might have known him as, I don't know, some guy named Space Dandy.
Space Dandy.
Space Dandy. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing really well. How about yourself?
Why do you have to put this on me? I thought I was
Oh
doing
yeah.
the interview.
I'm doing well, and I don't care how you are or what.
Thank you. That's the proper response. I'm not doing too bad. You're my first interview for this weekend, and
really?
I've been really looking forward to this one.
Awesome.
I wanted to talk about comic books with you.
Comic books.
We will get into that.
Okay.
Since you're an anime voice actor, this is a question I usually ask any voice actor. What was your first exposure to anime, not as an actor, but just as a regular human being?
Dragon Ball Z. I'll never forget. I got my wisdom teeth out, and I got dry socket. You know, like when it gets all infected and stuff, and it was all swollen out. And so I'm laying on the couch, and I am on all the medication for it. And my brother just kicks open the door, and he goes, "Hey, we're watching Dragon Ball Z." And I go, okay." And then we watched a bunch of Dragon Ball Z, and then I said, "Well, when are they gonna fight? That's the next episode." And then like we would go to cons and buy all the VHSs, and that's how it was a thing. It was a bonding experience between me and my little brother. We had all the action figures and huge DBZ fans, which is why it's awesome that we announced Dragon Ball Super yesterday.
Oh, we're gonna touch upon that later, but
I mean at some point.
yeah, I would hope so. Well, I checked you out in Space Dandy. I own that show.
Yeah, thank you.
I would have to say that the high school musical was my favorite episode, especially the 80s montage, because I lost that when I was checking that out. Was Space Dandy the most random show you've ever voiced for?
Random. Well, random, I guess, would be a pretty good word for it, due to all the alternate dimensions and everything, and how. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Panty and stocking. No, that was pretty all over the place. But all I said was Chuck in that one, so my involvement wasn't as much. Yeah, Dandy was great.
I mean, yes, that was. I'm pretty sure. I mean, yes, I've seen shows that you were involved with it, but like when I do research, I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen that. But the main one I know you from, and certainly not a slight against your acting career, is from Space Dandy, since I own that because I'm a big fan of Shinichiro Watanabe. Which brings me to the next question.
What's the next question?
You're a big fan of Cowboy Bebop. Favorite Cowboy Bebop episode?
Man, I did this favorites. I do love Toys in the Attic, and when that got referenced in Dandy,
That was awesome.
That was awesome, and I actually told Steve Bloom that, and I told Bo Billingsley about that the other day because I got to do a panel with him, and that dude is awesome. And like, there's a part of you that's just like, I'm hanging out with Jet. It's cool. He's right there. How you doing? And man, he sounds just as good today.
I would like to meet him.
He's really nice, like crazy nice. Weirdly enough, the entire Bebop crew, like crazy nice. Hi guys.
I mean, like I mentioned to you, I recently interviewed Steve, and that was a dream interview for me. And the dude was so cool.
One of the nicest people you ever met.
And we did crappy Harvey Fierstein impressions too.
Oh, that's fun. That's fantastic.
Another person that you know, especially from Dragon Ball Z, Chris Sabat,
Yeah.
once told me, because I interviewed him too, and I'm not name dropping folks, I promise. He told me of a prank he played on you in the hotel where he changed out all of your belongings and made it seem like a female was rooming there.
Yeah, it was really impressive. First of all, so y'all know I was holding his seat at dinner while he and Brina Palencia were breaking into my room. Just to let know, like I was like going out of my way to be a nice person that night to them while they were pranking me. They took everything out of my room and like had gone to Target and like picked up just women's clothes. You know that like puddle of clothes that is by your bed, right? You know, and
yes.
you just like, there was just puddle of like women's clothes used, and like notes on the thing like, go see Janice at the farmer's market at 3, and like used Q-tips and stuff that and then I kept looking around, and about 5 seconds later I went, Sabat. Yep. And then I got him back.
Oh, well, have you been the victim of any other pranks by him?
Oh, yeah. No, there are times where like I let him borrow my jacket, and then he put a salt shaker from the restaurant we were in it, and just kind of opened up, and then he had a staffer put it in my bag, and they felt really bad, so they emptied out all of the salt, and it has this little note in it that's like, we're really sorry, Mr. Sinclair. Mr. Sabat wanted us to prank you, and we couldn't do it.
Well, at least it wasn't Vaseline.
Oh, God, yeah.
So what was your revenge on Chris then?
Oh, basically convincing him that I had pranked him back. That I convinced him and Brina that I had gone into their rooms, and then they both ran to their rooms and were like, ah, God. And I was like,
It's that paranoia.
yeah, well, when you're in the pranking mindset, you assume everybody else is pranking you too.
Well, from what I understand, prior to voice acting, you were in bands when you were younger.
I was, yeah.
Influences from back then.
Oh, back then it was Metallica, Tool, Incubus. My metal stage, I mean, Pantera definitely, because Texas. What's up?
Vulgar Display of Power.
Oh, I hadn't listened to Vulgar Display of Power. Like, I can't tell you like how like entrenched I was with Metallica.
Well, you said Pantera though.
Yeah.
The Vulgar Display of Power album.
Oh God, you can't understand how like not awake I am right now. Yes. Yeah. No. I was actually more Cowboys from Hell. I remember, and I played at a venue that. Vinny was like a friend of the owner, and he came in, and I did a little diddle, and he's like, "You sound like if Dime was like drunk and fell over and broke his hand."
Oh,
and
dude, that's
like,
a little rough.
Oh,
Vinny
no,
Paul.
I was just right, like, and he laughed, and we all had drinks, and he was a good guy. But like, you're like, I should never try to do Dimebag in front of Vinny. That's just even if it's like a, hey, I see you're out in the audience. Just no, that's not right.
Dime was one of a kind.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unfortunate. You also, also found out that you were a fan of, you mentioned Tool already.
Yes,
Tool and A Perfect Circle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Any favorite songs by them?
Oh, God. Perfect Circle for me was like the soundtrack of some of my late teen years. I still have A Nurse Who Loved Me as part of my, like, I love that song. Which it's a cover song. It's not by Maynard, but still what he does with that thing, it's like, it's in my like idyllic calming mix. I call it my morning meditation mix playlist. That's on there. Yeah.
His voice is so golden.
It's so good.
I mean, my first exposure to A Perfect Circle is I saw them open up for 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah.
Years ago, and that would have probably been the very best concert I've ever gone to had I been fully into A Perfect Circle. I was just getting into them. The show was excellent, but I think that would have been, and this was like around. Like he was still touring off of The Fragile. And I was like, this would have been the best concert I've ever gone to in my entire life had I been fully entrenched into A Perfect Circle as I am now. I mean, I really enjoy Three Libras.
Oh, Three Libras is classic.
I mean, Mare de Gnomes, that album.
Oh yeah, no, from front to back, there's not a moment on that album that I don't love. And like, it's one of those albums that if I put it on like in about 2 seconds, I would remember all the words to it and be like, oh gosh, oh high school. Oh, high school. Oh, early college.
Well, I mean, what were your thoughts on Emotive?
Oh, that was the one with the covers and everything, yeah?
Yeah, I was
that's... I mean, kind of like with Metallica, I will always buy anything that they put out. And there were some good things, but it felt more thrown together. Maynard, if you ever see this, I love you, and it was beautiful. It was thrown together. It was more concept-y. I think when they had the time to really sit down and put out the things that felt like Perfect Circle. I think that maybe it's just the fact that it was covers, and this isn't like things that were born from Maynard. And his vibe wasn't so much in it. And even though the way that he would restructure things and put it into like his Imagine,
yes,
putting that into the minor key, like that was beautiful. It's one of my favorite covers of that song.